You guys announced yesterday, and this has started to go into effect today, 4% reductions today in flights across the country because of the ongoing government shutdown. That's going to scale up to 10% next week. Can you give us a breakdown of how, first off, why this is necessary, and then how these decisions were made and where and how this is going to impact people?
Yeah, so first off, air traffic controllers, a critical part of our aviation infrastructure, wonderful men and women who serve the American people. They do a great job. They have had one paycheck where they got a partial payment. A second paycheck was flat zero. They just got notice that the second full paycheck will be a big fat zero. That comes next week. And so there's been a lot of pressure on the controllers. And when that happens, I'm asking them to come to work. That's important they come to work. But some of them are new to the business. They don't have a nest egg that they've been able to plan for and prepare for. And if you don't get two paychecks, they're confronted with, like anybody else would be confronted with, how do I not just pay the rent, pay the car payment, but there's a gas bill, electric bill, there's a TV bill, there's food on the table, there's gas in the car, real life expenses that they're having to think through. And some of them have made the decision to not come to work, but go take a second job. And what that has done is put a lot of pressure on the air traffic control system. And you've seen that play out over the course of the month with more delays and more cancellations. And by the way, it's not in the same place every day. One day it might be in LA, then it might be in New York, and then it's Houston or Dallas or Orlando. It's never the same place. And so we look at data. What is the data telling us today? And just as a side note, these two things are not related, but for the issue of data, we had a DCA air crash. Yeah. And before that crash, there was information, had someone looked at the data, that there were near misses. And someone should have said, listen, stop the cross traffic. The data says, don't do it. Well, no one looked at the data. Well, we learned from that. We should look at data and what's happening. And so as we've done that through the FAA safety team, we're seeing loss of separation in the airspace. There's spacing for aircraft. There's been incursions in those separations. Those numbers have gone up. There's more incursions on the ground. And then we've had more complaints from pilots that have said, well, the controller is less responsive to me, or controllers seem to be more stressed. So we looked at that data, and the numbers are going in the wrong direction. This is a really long answer, but I want to explain.
No, yeah, please do. So.
The numbers are going in the wrong direction, and so then what is our response to that? And the response is to take pressure out of the system. And through the safety team, we've talked about lowering the number of flights. And so we were going to do 10% right away. The safety team said that could be even more disruptive. We should actually phase this in, to which we've done that. Today is the first day, 4% reduction. 4 days later, another 2%. 2 days after that, 2%, and then 2% on. And what I'm hoping to do is, again, take the pressure and more risk out of the system. We always try to manage the risk. Nothing is ever fully safe. A car's not safe. Walking down the street's not full. I mean, there's risk in everything we do. I'm trying to minimize the risk through this government shutdown, and bring us to a matrix that matches what we had before the shutdown. And I've had some complaints from Democrats. They've said, well, we want to see the data, and why are you looking at data? And this is political. This has not been political. We have worked overtime to make sure that we minimize the impact on the American people. We're trying to help the American people, and when I start to get attacked by Democrats, that also gets frustrating, because there's a very easy solution to the problem that they put directly on my lap, which is open the damn government. Yeah. Vote to open the government. So those who snipe at me for having to take really unique action, they put that on my plate. So open it up.